when you set a goal, right? You know that that's not where you currently are.
Right.
That's where you are aspiring to go, or something that you aspire to achieve. So in order to do something that you're not currently doing, the state of where you are would require some type of shift, because that's not where you actively are.
That's right.
So when we say, you know, what is the end goal? That seems to be something that we're not focusing on. That's why the growth isn't as important, because we don't really have a goal.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Romance and Real Estate, where we
help you level up in life, love,
and money.
Woo! We back at it, man. How y'all living?
Feeling good.
Awesome.
Growing though. It's
man,
a lot of growing going on, right?
Man, you know, I'm navigating through everything, and you know, just tapping into some areas that I'm not tapped into.
Yes.
So like, you know, I got a lot of challenges right now, but you know, in business specifically, that I'm kind of working through, and you know, I'm really reflecting to when I first started in real estate. So I wanted to get started in real estate in 2008 originally, but that's when the crash kind of happened.
Right.
I was younger, but I didn't understand it, but I just understood that people weren't buying homes. So I didn't do it. Got back into it start educating myself again in 2012, 13, and start taking action in 14.
Okay.
I say that to say though, real estate has been one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And the reason why is because as an entrepreneur, my entrepreneur journey started when I was 14. I started DJing, and then it was just a hobby. I just enjoyed mixtapes and the remixes of music growing up. But then when I got to graduate high school, got my freshman year in college, that's when I was introduced to like the fraternities and things of that nature. So I started DJing all throughout the Midwest, and I just started to grow. So in my off seasons when I wasn't running, I was actually traveling a little bit to DJing, and then I had two beautiful ladies, and then that's when that kind of ended. Had to come back home. Still was in college, but now that became a full-time job. And then I started to make mixtapes. But I say all that to say and tell you that journey because I was making active, quick money. And so in this part of my entrepreneur journey, I was a technician, meaning I had to go work to get it. You know, so what I mean by that, if you have a lawn care service, you don't make money unless you go cut grass.
Right.
And that's the first layer of entrepreneurship. You're the technician doing the work. And then you have the managerial entrepreneur that has a small team. He can be active or inactive in the team, but you have that option as a managerial entrepreneur. And the last one is an entrepreneur where you oversee your business.
Yes.
And so when it came to real estate, I learned those three layers. And I get this from the book called E-Myth.
Okay.
And so basically, when it came to real estate, I was looking for the big hits. I was so infatuated with like, man, I can make $50,000 on the flip. Plus you get to be like creative and make something pretty dope.
Yes.
But the truth was that wasn't for me because it took away from her hair company and everything I had going on over here. So I evaluated that with my goals and where I wanted to be. If I wanted to have two streams of income, I had to make sure that I was an entrepreneur and oversaw in one aspect, because I couldn't be the technician in two different places. And so that's when I started to accrue rental properties.
Yes.
And because we use the same system, the same paint, the same floors, the same type of doors, the same type of vanities. And so it became very easy to have a system in place for my contractors.
Yes.
What that did for me, it allowed me to organize, lead, create systems, and also I had to become more patient. The money that I get from flips versus rental properties, to many, you know, it's not the same. To me, it did become the same, but I'll explain that. When you do a flip, you know, 3 to 6 months later, you flip it, and if it's a good property, it'll sell. When it comes to rental properties, you have, you know, a $200,000 asset and you're getting a cash flow of maybe, you know, $300 to $600 a month.
Right.
But what you don't see is everything that you're getting with it. You can't feel the you can feel the cash flow hit your bank account, but you can't see the appreciation, the equity that you have, the tax deductions. You really don't get that quick, immediate endorphin hit because it's not, you have to be patient for it.
It's not instant gratification.
Yeah, there it is. That's the word I was looking for. So that allowed me to be patient as an entrepreneur, which then allowed me to be more patient as a person.
Yes.
And so like, you know, properties I bought in 14, 15, 16, 17, you know, at one point now I had $100,000 in equity in them. And I'm getting the cash flow and I'm still getting tax deductions. And so today I'm reaping the benefits from becoming a more patient entrepreneur, understanding my end goal, and really like allowing things to mature on their own. You know, and there's this thing called, you know, Marquand said it the other day. I don't know if you were on a call, but he stated that it's a military quote. It says, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And sometimes we get so caught up with getting there fast and we don't understand, like, as you go through the process of it, everything, getting the kinks out, it really becomes smooth. So today my team can perform without me being at the house, you know, only, you know, they could perform without me being there. Because we created a system that in the beginning was rough, then it got smooth, and now it got fast. So I could stop and go at any time because I've developed the patience and I've developed my team. And so, you know, that I now translate into other businesses. You know, you tend to get into certain businesses because you know you can make money. But the truth is, like, what in the end is your goal and how you're going to get there, and to see that out like that is I can reflect on real estate. And it puts me at ease. And then it gives me the confidence that everything is going to happen in due time, as long as I stay present, do what I need to do today.
Oh my goodness. So it really, it sounds like it grew you.
Definitely. In every aspect of everything. Like, you know, there's a lot of layers to it. Teamwork, team building, trusting individuals, you know, being precise and being accurate and doing what you say you're going to do.
And I would imagine that your perspective has shifted a little bit. So in the beginning, you felt pretty confident in what you were doing. Yes.
But I made a lot of mistakes by having confident bias.
Right. But you thought that you felt strongly about what you believed at that time.
100%.
Right. And then you went through these years of experience and growth, and you feel strongly about what you believe right now. Yes. But somewhere along the way, you had to learn. And I don't know if you learned from other individuals or from reading or just from life experience, mistakes. And so when those mistakes happened, right, what would you say was your process of remedying them? Like, did you just keep banging like, well, no, because I thought this is how it was going to go, and this is how it's going to go. This is how the world needs to adapt to what I'm saying is going to work. Or did you have to adapt to what life really was?
I had to adapt to the circumstance.
You had to adapt to the circumstance.
And then I also had to reflect on the holes or the gaps that I had in whatever I was doing.
Holes and gaps.
Why did we fall here? Why did we fail here? All right. And so the first thing I had to do is not, you know, sometimes I'll be like, man, if you've seen it, you should have told me. But I realized that everybody hasn't had the same great stake.
That's right.
Therefore, the quality that they're used to versus the quality that I'm used to may be different.
That's right.
So I had to quit blaming them and understand that I had to let him know what type of quality we're looking for.
My Lord.
And that kind of established my standard of quality.
Yes.
And that then helped him avoid certain pitfalls, because when he didn't know what my standard was, he would ask.
Right. Open the communication.
Yes.
Open the communication.
Yes.
But this is all growing pains. You had to grow to this.
Definitely.
I love that.
So I have a follow-up question. Erick, how successful do you think that you would have been when you reached a space or somebody that you were working with and you guys something fell through the cracks and you was like, you know what? I don't got time for this. I'm gonna find somebody else.
I got a great one, actually. So the gentleman that introduced me to hair, he made the Inc. 500 list as well.
All right.
And so when he introduced me to hair, him and his girlfriend at the time, I asked to join, but I didn't know her, so like it wasn't. He was open, she was not, and it's fair. Like we didn't know each other, but throughout time, she got to know me, and I got to know her, and then we became competitors. I think that that kind of came in between us a little bit. But the truth is, when he was done, I want to say he sold about anywhere between $25 to $30 million in hair extensions. And so they've ended the business since, but today I've probably sold about $45 million in hair extensions. If we would have partnered up and put and not giving up on certain things and really considered everybody's specialty and what they brought to the table and really evaluated it better without considering just money.
Right.
I think that we probably did about 100 mil 5 years ago.
Without considering just money. So the reason this is so helpful and we see so much value in it is because you're talking about the progression as a man and how you allow this experience to grow you, which means that you weren't too arrogant to think you didn't need to grow.
Got you.
I don't know if you ever thought about that in respect to your relationship. See, in business, because we know we want to reach a greater financial goal, we understand quickly that, well, what got me here isn't going to get me there. And so something about me and the situation, it has to change. There has to be growth. When it comes to relationships, and I'm not just speaking on my opinion, you can go through the comments of our own clips and the men are right there with you. There's clearly a frustration in our fellas. They don't want to grow. This is who I am. I see it over and over again, and I don't address I just leave it now because I'm like, Lord, help them all. But that's not how men are. No, that's not how you were then. If you want to have a relationship with a woman, a woman, okay, and you want to go forward, you have to embrace the requirement of growth and development. How you see things now is not going to be how you see things later. And for whatever reason, admittedly, I don't really know why. I'm seeing that women are more willing to be flexible and ebb and flow and become something new together. And fellas are like, look, this is what I do. Get in here, fit in, and let's move forward. And that means almost, and if you don't fit in and move forward, I'll just replace you with another one. Because, hey, there's more of us, not enough of y'all. So there's always another woman willing to take what you don't appreciate. And when you just said, if we had come together, we probably would have gone farther. We would have done more. That's how we're looking at it from relationships. Like, if we could get this, instead of fighting each other and having all these toxic podcast episodes where we just berating each other, if we could find a way back to each other, finding the compliment when you said what you bring and what you bring come together, finding the compliment, being patient enough until the compliment arrives. Don't try to fit a square peg in a round hole. Get the compliment, see the value in each other, and then build together, understanding that building, that legacy, that financial level up, that elevation requires growth.
Yes.
You cannot realistically and rationally look forward to all of this elevation and growth with your new wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, whatever, and think for a moment that you're going to be the same person in the end that you were in the beginning.
Yes.
I got a question for you, Mike.
What's up?
Do you feel you had to become a different person to be a married man versus a single man?
I don't look at it that drastically from the day I got married, but from when we first met, very much so different. Like it was definitely
I think that's the.
Hold up a second. And how long were y'all together before you got married?
It was a minute.
How many years?
7.
So
hold up though, because your average person is not together that long.
I'm just asking him because he's a married man. Though.
I know, but what I'm saying is, notice he said not from the time I got married, but from the time we were together. So his evolution, it wasn't limited by his I do. He just told you he started to evolve before he said I do.
Yeah.
And that is what before Boaz, we're trying to help people understand you have to, if you're going to really be all in for this relationship, begin with the end in mind.
Yeah.
Accept and understand that there's going to be an evolution of your person from the time you get serious about the commitment. You said, once I'm committed, it's going to work.
Right.
You said that about your business. Once he was committed, it was going to work. And he accepted that he was going to have to evolve. And then the I do came in time. He didn't wait for the I do to allow the experience to shift and change him.
And the reality.
Hey, real quick though, just know that I know that Shanoria and them been like, hey, you been not asked nobody to marry you in 5 years. They would have told that they meant to kick you out the way.
See, we don't tell people
I
what
want to
to
say
do.
we would not have said.
I wanted to preface that.
We would have encouraged.
Y'all ain't say I said it for y'all.
We would have encouraged some exploratory conversations.
Yes,
we would have
that.
Yes.
They would have tried to get me to evolve faster.
Well, not that either. No.
But see, this is something
that's
this is what we have to consider, though. When you set a goal, right? You know that that's not where you currently are.
Right.
That's where you are aspiring to go, or something that you aspire to achieve. So in order to do something that you're not currently doing, the state of where you are would require some type of shift.
Yes.
Because that's not where you actively are.
That's right.
So when we say, what is the end goal? That seems to be something that we're not focusing on. That's why the growth isn't as important, because we don't really have a goal.
Got you.
Yep.
So you mean to tell me that you'll get your hair done, your nails done, and your makeup done, but then you won't do anything to help you?
Girl, that math ain't matching.
No. So when is it going to be the time that we stop working on the outer things and start figuring out the inner things?
Girl, I think the time is now. And so for you, I'd encourage you to strut over, slide over, get on through, getandstaymarried.com. Because what we have for you is not just this great conversation like we're having today.
Yes.
But it's an entire community to help you know and love yourself, but focus on what we put in and what we put on. So all our clients have a personal stylist, a year with a finance coach, a flexibility coach, a sex educator, because there's a lot of people having sex,
but they not good at it.
Oh, don't let that be you. So go ahead, sis, slide on through, getandstaymarried.com. But for now, back to the show.
Now, I ain't even gonna do you like that, Mike. Actually, I am. I hope your wife is watching this.
I think she does watch these podcasts.
You're doing it intentionally too. Oh, Lord.
There was a point where you almost was like, I might need to walk away.
Yeah.
What decision did you make to not walk away? Like what do you have to, what would you internally have to go through? Or what caused a change in heart?
I don't know if I had a conversation with my pastor or who I had the conversation with about, I think it was our end goal. Like, do you love her enough to put some grace on that thing? Do you believe that she's able to grow in that realm? And are you also willing to grow on the things you need to work on? So just that, just the exception of nobody's perfect, but we're willing to work towards growth or work towards our end.
So she didn't know you felt like this, or she knew you felt like this?
Oh no, I expressed my feelings to the best of my ability.
Certified ass. I just want y'all to know that.
So what Mike is saying is not perfect, but progressing.
Yeah.
And there it is.
That's the mindset.
And there it is. And both parties must be willing to progress.
Both.
The relationship cannot progress if one person's not progressing. We have to both be willing to progress.
To not be blinded by, I want to be married. I'm gonna speak it into existence.
Come on now.
Like, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
How do you tell your clients to gauge this?
When they're ready?
When to gauge their partner's effort into becoming prepared. Because people talk it, but there's not there's so much mass in the talk.
Yeah. So this is probably going to cover a couple different episodes, but we can start introducing here. There's something that we packaged up and we label it as your attraction factor, right? And it's made up of certain components. And if what is in your attraction factor aligns with what is in that other person, then we can likely make this work for life. If it does not, this probably isn't going to work. Most people don't take the time up front to assess what's a part of your attraction factor to make the assessment of whether the other party is meeting you
absolutely
in those areas, right? So for example, just to give a couple, first is like your mission statement. The average person doesn't have a mission statement.
Damn, life's fucked up. I don't got a mission statement.
Think about it. Your mission statement for your business, but what's your mission statement for you?
My mission statement in life is to be the best person I could be.
You're coming with this on the fly.
But I'm gonna have a mission statement by the next podcast.
I like that. Yeah,
you dig? Do you have a mission statement, Mike?
Yeah, mine. I don't know if it's
life's messed up.
No.
He got a mission statement.
But it's to impact the world in a way that my family can live for the next 5 generations in a better space. And you know, like the guy at the end of the wall, when y'all all eating dinner above the fireplace, the old grandpa. I want to be that guy.
Yes. Okay. So just the first component of your attraction factor, because I'm telling you, we would never get through all of them in this episode, right? But just right there. So we already know there's a Mrs. Harris, but hypothetically, right? Based off his mission statement, we can immediately cut out any female that just want to spend everything that's earned.
Period.
Because he's already said family, legacy, growth. He wants to be that guy. So understanding your attraction factor not only helps you to recognize who will be in alignment with you, but it immediately identifies who won't.
Yes.
And that's him. That's not any career. That's not thingified, no materialism. This is just Mike. This is what's important to Mike. So when you go through all of the attraction factor components and you get clear about them for yourself, and then you assess how the other person really connects with that, you'll be able to know whether, yep, we can work it out, or no, we can't. Because here's the thing. Every marriage will have trouble. If you don't have conflict resolution skills, it's
somebody
stop
lying.
now. Yeah.
Somebody lying.
Like it's everyone.
Somebody lying?
If you never have conflict, somebody's lying. Okay. It's impossible to put 2 different individuals together and never have conflict.
How?
No, I get it.
Right. The question is, how do you manage it? How do you resolve it? We talked about it, and this goes back to a transferable skill from program management. All teams go through the stages of forming, storming, norming, and performing. If you go into a relationship or a marriage and you expect to never have a storm, you're setting yourself up for failure, right? But people will talk about a storm and it's okay, right? Like, I know we're going to have storms, but what you may not be assessing is, in order for you to call something a relationship storm, it has to hurt. So then when the pain comes, don't be shocked, because you said you was down for the forming, the storming, the norming, and performing. So the benefit, or I would say the cheat code here is to ensure, as best you can, ensure that you two aren't storming on your core values, on the things that are most important to you.
Absolutely.
Because those are the things that you can be up all night if this ain't right. And because we don't take the time before we get in a seriously committed relationship or before we get married to assess these things on a very clear level, that's how we get matched up with people. And then after a certain amount of time, once the representatives take off, like, I'm tired of you. I don't even know how I got into this. I don't know how I missed the red flags. I don't know why I didn't see this, but I'm gonna be honest with myself. I'd be miserable if I was you for the rest of their life.
Do you help your ladies come up with mission statements?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Up front and early. Like, and they're all like, mission statement. What the heck is this?
So they got mission, vision too?
Yes, they have mission statements, vision statements, core beliefs, values, boundaries, guardrails.
So just know that half of yours is a vision statement then. That's how he sees himself in the future.
Yes.
Got you. Okay.
But we can use some of those skills to make sure
I get it.
to set
I just
up
said some of it. You know what I mean? Just hearing it out. But
You ain't got to critique that man.
I was giving you the executive summary of the business plan.
Look, he had more than you were.
Yeah, hey, I'm impressed.
I was about to say, I'm the one that's walking.
We are big on affirming the efforts of men, not tearing down where they are.
I am the podcast host, so I felt that was a necessary question.
No, that was not a question. That was a statement. Okay, that was an observation.
I was just curious. He married?
And so what we're saying is, from boys to men, from girls to women, there's development, there's growth. And even though you were a man during your entire real estate journey, right? you still grew as a man.
Yes.
It was not disrespectful to you to acknowledge that you had room for growth.
Absolutely.
Because you wanted to reach your next goal. What I'm just offering here today, and what Eric is offering here today, is that in relationship, don't be arrogant. Accept that there's room for growth in you. Accept that there's room for evolution in you. If you want to go from the single you to a companion and unified y'all over there. How you are as an individual is not going to work out as in a marriage.
Yeah.
There has to be pieces of you that you are willing to allow to grow, develop, evolve so that you can come together and complement.
I get that. I appreciate that. Can you give us some statements, comments that we make that are arrogant that we don't even realize are subconsciously that we say? Because I get that message, but some people may not be able to translate it into what they say daily to their partner. Kind of like, it's arrogant. Does that make sense?
I just don't keep such things in my mind, so I'm having to dig right now in real time.
But when it comes back to you,
statement.
One thing I just kind of want to put out there, it may not be a statement, but it's the way things are classified. More of a, this is, in my house, my money. So for my kids, it's like, how you gonna take ownership of something we did together? And there is a separation. And even though that may not be the intention, you are letting me know that you are thinking with a singular mind, with a solo mind. And honey, this is a duet. Okay.
This is a duet. Something that I hear is, oh, she has too much masculine energy. And so when I hear that, I'm here we go again. Both sexes or genders possess a portion of each type. So you have feminine energy and masculine energy. I have feminine energy and masculine energy. When you tap into what is often dictated by your environment, right? So when I hear a guy referring to, she just has too much masculine energy, I'm like, why is that? What's going on? Why doesn't she feel safe and at peace and secure? Because it's almost like, I have a dog. You love dogs. So when a dog feels threatened, they show their teeth and they crouch down, they arch their back, like, right? That's almost likened to when women are giving off this masculine energy, when we're going in. And it's like, well, what's going on? Why does this creature, person, human, species, whatever, feel like they're under duress? What's going on? But we don't want to deal with that. I just need her to be more submissive. We the passport bros.
So,
I just need to go.
I witnessed this happen, especially on social media posts, and I've seen it happen in conversations. And I have a theory. I'm not saying it's accurate. I'm not a counselor. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's say, for instance, for men, I could use myself. I actually posted this. I was like, nowadays, when people do shit to piss me off, I don't even say nothing. That don't mean I ain't paying attention, my guy.
Right.
I just ain't got the energy for you, so I move on.
Right.
In the past, though, maybe being disrespected or whatever, like I just be like, I confront it, or I may be vocal about it. As I've grown up, there was a point in my life where I realized that men with both parents or a father present versus one with not, like myself, it was just my mom, you tend to adapt that style of conflict resolution, which she had by spazzing because she didn't feel protected. So that's the way she felt, that she had to bark when some stuff didn't really happen.
Right.
So then you just adapt that because that's how you just understand conflict resolution to a degree. Versus those who had cool pops. When I say cool pops, I mean somebody that was, let's just say, involved and was present, not just a pops, right? And I'd be like, man, I could just tell the individual, my friend, and just more relaxed. Drama would be handled more so in a way of like, hold on real quick, let's I don't understand, let's talk about it. And I began to admire the way they handle not they wife, but conflict in general, even with myself.
Yeah.
Or they might be like, you tripping. Pause, my guy, and then whatever. And so I never said this to these individuals, but I had to be like, this is not saying that every individual with a pops does this.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, I watch it. It's a calmer demeanor. And so when you say the things about dogs and things of that nature, I get it because I'm a pet owner too. But I also we're talking about human beings here.
Right.
So that's how I started to correlate that and pay attention a lot to that.
Yes.
It's very difficult though to deliver that to some women, in my opinion.
Yeah, and so we were talking about in a previous, we were talking about earlier in our conversation, levels of emotion, right? So it's imperative for us to have emotional intelligence so that we know how to deliver that message. Now, we teach our clients the compass of clear communication so you can deliver whatever message without causing an argument. However, it's going to take some charisma, some finesse to get to that. But again, instead of just attacking the top level issue, it's being curious enough to say, why is she responding like that? Why he
So I got one
like
for
that?
y'all. Y'all know, like the last segments, it was the concubine. I want you to know I've been places in the airport and people be like, bro, you wild for the concubine.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so I just wanted to let y'all know. So this segment of flows, it's just gonna be like, baby, you know I love you, right?
See?
So we gonna start with love and then we gonna deliver.
Yes.
That is what this hash of segments is gonna be about.
We're leading with love.
Leading with love.
Absolutely. We leading with love. So, and we're focusing on growth. Right?
Ain't no wrong
help
with
you
it.
level up in life, love, and money. You're not leveling up unless you grow.
Boom. And that's the episode for today, though. Again, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend.
Yes.
Tap in, man. Comment. Follow us at Romance and Real Estate. We really, really are diving into some healthy topics, for you and yours to really be empowered and have, healthier conversations, healthier developments, some self-reflection to really just become that much more awesome in your relationships.
That's right.
That being stated, man, if they needed some help to really empower, go a little bit deeper into themselves to really, maybe self-reflect, where can they contact you guys at?
You can contact me at getandstaymarried.com
or on the Marriage Makeover on IG.
Boom. That's it for today, man. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.